In the vast Sahara, the Kingdom of Tamur thrived, its golden sands shimmering under the unrelenting sun. King Idris, known for his wisdom and strength, had ruled with a steady hand since the untimely passing of his queen. Her loss left a void not only in his heart, but also in the lives of their three children. Malik, the eldest and heir to the throne, Zara, a spirited young woman with a mind for strategy, and little Amin, who clung to memories of his mother. Despite his stoic exterior, Idris's grief weighed heavily on him. The kingdom felt the absence of a queen. The king's advisors often urged him to remarry, but Idris resisted,
How will I love again?
unwilling to bring anyone into his family who lacked the kindness and strength his late queen had embodied. However, whispers of unrest and rumors of an ancient curse threatening Tamur forced him to reconsider. The kingdom needed unity, and his children needed guidance that only a mother's love could provide. Reluctantly, he agreed to meet potential brides, though his heart remained guarded. Layla was unlike anyone Idris had ever encountered. She arrived at the palace gates with nothing but a calm demeanor and a quiet confidence. Born in a small oasis village, she had grown up understanding the desert's ways, its beauty, its dangers, its secrets. Her kindness was evident in her interactions with the palace staff, and her intelligence shone through her conversations with the king. Though initially skeptical, Idris found himself drawn to her warmth and sincerity. Malik, Zara, and Amin observed her with curiosity. While Malik remained aloof, Zara admired Layla's straightforward nature, and Amin, shy at first, quickly warmed up to her gentle smile. It wasn't long before the palace began to feel lighter, as though a gentle breeze had swept away the lingering sorrow. Layla's presence was a balm, and the kingdom's people began to hope for brighter days. Not everyone welcomed Layla's arrival. Among the candidates for the king's hand was Ramata, a woman of striking beauty, but a heart as barren as the harshest desert. Ramata was ambitious, cunning, and determined to become queen at any cost. Her polished exterior masked a calculating mind that saw Layla's growing connection with the king and his children as a threat to her plans. Ramata's charm had initially won over some of the court, but her true nature revealed itself in her manipulative ways. She began to exploit the children's innocence to sow discord. She whispered to Malik that Layla sought to control the throne, planting seeds of doubt in the young heir's mind. To Zara, she pretended camaraderie while quietly undermining Layla's wisdom. With Amin, she played the role of a doting friend, filling his head with stories of how only a queen like her could restore the kingdom to its former glory. Layla, unaware of Ramata's schemes, continued to win the hearts of the people and the royal family with her genuine kindness. But Ramata's shadow loomed large, and her plots threatened to unravel the fragile peace that was beginning to take root in the palace. As the tension grew, the king would soon face a choice that could determine the future of Tamur and his family. Ramata's whispers began to take root, especially in Malik's mind. The young heir, already burdened by the weight of his future responsibilities, started to view Layla with suspicion. Why is she always so perfect, he thought, echoing Ramata's insinuations. Does she truly care for us, or does she have her own agenda? His once cordial demeanor toward Layla turned cold, and he withdrew into himself. Zara, too, felt the sting of Ramata's manipulations. Though she admired Layla, Ramata's calculated comments about Layla's lack of royal lineage began to make her question whether Layla truly belonged in their family. Zara, a fierce protector of her father's legacy, began to feel conflicted, her heart pulling her in two directions. Meanwhile, Amin became more attached to Ramata, drawn in by her lavish gifts and fantastical stories. She told him tales of queens who ruled with power and grandeur, quietly contrasting them with Layla's humble demeanor. Amin, too young to see through her facade, began to echo her praises, unknowingly adding to the growing tension within the family. Layla noticed the shift but couldn't pinpoint its cause. Her efforts to connect with the children were met with resistance, and the warmth she had begun to cultivate seemed to cool. Idris, preoccupied with matters of state, remained unaware of the brewing discord. Ramata, however, watched with satisfaction as her plans unfolded, confident that she would soon secure her place as queen. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sands in hues of gold and crimson, Idris found Layla seated in the palace gardens. A faint scent of jasmine lingered in the air, and the distant sound of a lute, played softly by a servant, added to the serene atmosphere. Layla sat on a stone bench, her hands folded in her lap, her expression distant. "Layla?" Idris began, his voice gentle but firm. She looked up, startled by his presence, but quickly composed herself. "Your Majesty," she said, rising to her feet. Idris gestured her to sit, taking the spot beside her. "Layla, I have seen the way you carry yourself through these trials," he said. "You have shown kindness even when faced with doubt. You have remained steadfast, even as whispers sought to undermine you. It is remarkable." Layla hesitated, her hands trembling. "Your words honor me, my king, but I fear I am losing the children and the court. They look at me with suspicion." Idris reached for her hand, his touch grounding her. "Do not let their doubts define you. I see you, Layla. I see your heart, your strength, and I believe in you." Her eyes glistened with unshed tears, and she turned to face him fully. "I only wish to serve this family, this kingdom, but it feels as though the harder I try, the more the shadows grow." "Shadows cannot stand against the light," Idris said, his voice filled with quiet resolve. "And you, Layla, are a light this kingdom sorely needed." For a moment, the weight of the world seemed to lift from Layla's shoulders. Idris' unwavering faith in her was a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, she was not alone. Encouraged by her initial success, Ramata's schemes grew bolder. She planted false evidence of Layla's supposed ambitions, leaving a trail of notes and whispered rumors that painted her as a manipulative opportunist. She enlisted the help of a few discontented palace servants, promising them rewards in exchange for their silence and complicity. One evening, Ramata orchestrated a staged accident during a family dinner. A servant, acting under her orders, spilled wine on an important document the king had been reviewing. Ramata quickly stepped in, appearing calm and composed, while quietly suggesting that Layla's growing influence might be causing distractions within the household. Idris, though not entirely convinced, couldn't ignore the mounting tension and began to question whether his choice to let Layla into their lives had been too hasty. Ramata's next move was even more insidious. She spread rumors among the court that Layla's village had a history of dissent against the kingdom. While the claims were baseless, they began to sow doubt among the advisors and nobles who started to view Layla with suspicion. Ramata's web of lies threatening to choke the fragile harmony that Layla had worked so hard to build. As the kingdom's trust in Layla wavered, Ramata positioned herself as the only one capable of restoring order. Her charm and cunning continued to win over those who were blind to her true nature, setting the stage for a confrontation that would test the strength of Idris's family and his ability to see through the darkness threatening his kingdom.
She will never be queen as long as I live. Never.
Who will the king choose? Will Ramata be exposed? Stay tuned.